Would you rather have been the success you've had as an actor?
Who was married to Elizabeth Taylor? Richard Burton said he'd have swapped playing Hamlet for 1 cap for Wales.
1 cap.
No, okay, 50 caps or your career in Hollywood. I mean, obviously the cash is going to be nowhere near playing rugby.
I mean, that's the family to support here. Like,
yeah.
No, can you? Sorry, can you imagine running out for your country? Yes, you lads can. But I would have. Jesus, I would have loved that. No, but I can't sit here, being as lucky as I am in my chosen career, and pretend I would have rather played rugby. But there's definitely a part of me that would have loved to have felt what that feels like to represent, walk out in Leinster. Unbelievable. But no, I'm happy with my lot.
You wouldn't have after 50 caps, you wouldn't be as good looking as you are now, I'll tell you that, mate.
I do love the fact you've got a good story about, your initiations, and obviously being an actor. I can't imagine what it'd be like to where you've got to go in and you've got to read for a part or whatever, but you've got a good story on the one that you read where you drank the whiskey.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh Jesus, that was bad. I was in LA years ago, 17 years ago probably, and I was auditioning for this. It was a musical, and I can sing a bit, but not as much as any other douchey actor guy can sing. But you had to really sing in this thing, and you had to sing something really hard. I've been waiting for a girl like you. That it's really fucking high, and so I've been driving. It must have been 13 years. It was 13 years ago. I was driving around LA because I was with my wife, then girlfriend, and I kept trying to practice this song. She was like, "Get out of the car." Anyway, the morning audition, I was like first up. I think it was like 10 a.m. and I had heard that like whiskey was good for, loosening your vocal cords and for giving you a bit of confidence or whatever. So I brought a bottle of quarter bottle of Jameson with me. And I pulled up, it was like Warner Brothers lot, and went through, got my name tag and the car park, and I got out of the car and went, fuck, I'll do that, I'm going to do that. But I hadn't, this is well before kids or whatever, like 10 in the morning was quite early back in those days. I'd probably got up at, 9:30 to get there, and I hadn't eaten or anything, so, brushed my teeth, and that was it. And the first thing that was passing my lips was whiskey, and I literally drank it and immediately puked.
Wow.
Immediately. Right. And I puked all over the side of the car door, like in the main Warner Brothers lot with like all these executives driving around in golf buggies and stuff, and I'm like puking all over the side of the car. And then I realised I hadn't brought like chewing gum or anything like that, so I actually just walked into this audition smelling of whiskey and puke.
Like Oliver Reed.
Singing as well, just breathing on everyone like big.
I know. And the guys, they were kind of into me for a bit, so they kept me there for a long time. They kept making me stay and sing and go, "Do you mind just going one more time?" I was like, I can't be in here. Like,
did you get the part off the back?
Fuck off! Did I get the part? No way. I never worked for them.
Imagine like driving through and seeing you puke. Oh, Jamie Dornan's lost it. He's even started a career. Yeah, mate, you're meant to do this after you've made all the movies and millions.
It was rough.
Tough. How is life now? What's keeping you busiest at the moment? Are you
Rugby World Cup?
It is.
No.
You blocked that out?
No. I just finished a show called The Tourist. We shot the first series in Australia a couple of years ago. Second series we shot in Dublin. So I was in Dublin for 4 months, and it was quite long. There's a lot asked of me in that show. I'm sort of in everything, so it's a big effort, I guess. So I'd made a decision, like when I finish this job, I want time off. I'd love to take the rest of the year off. And then there's just been a strike. I don't know if you're aware. There's a writer strike, which is overnight being resolved, I think, and an actor strike. So it ended up being quite enforced, the break anyway. There's stuff going on, but you could work. But to be honest, I just wanted time off, and it worked out well with Rugby World Cups, Ryder Cups, all sorts of stuff that I can watch and just be a dad, and just I'm doing every drop off, every pick up, and I just want to be around until early next year.
You've said it numerous times. Yeah, I just want time off now, and then a gig will come along, and he'll go, "Okay, I'll work." It's because I remember I'm name dropping now, but when
more than usual.
We're in Australia with I think I've said this on the pod before with Chris Hemsworth, where he was
fucking give it a rest. Right,
Jamie's exactly the same. He's like, yeah, I just want some time, and then they don't have a script that comes in for a week, and they're going, why does no one want me?
Yeah,
why does no one need me? They said, well, I want to be turning things down in my time off, so it's my time off.
Well, that's what was quite good. That's what ended up being quite enforced anyway because of the strike. So there's not that much stuff floating about. So it's worked out well. But yeah, I've already this week committing to something early next year, but it looks like I'll get the rest of the year off.
Have you ever got a script through that you read, turned down, and then it's been an absolute mega movie?
Yep.
Can you say like?
Go on.
No, I can't really.
Say.
Are you not allowed to?
No, I've got a couple of things. One was really got many Oscar nominations,
Really?
including lead actor, which I'd been offered at one point.
Ouch.
And then there was a TV show that was like the biggest hit of all time that I said no
Who's
to.
making your decisions?
No, listen, but like God, Jesus, every actor in the
Yeah.
world has those stories. The amount of
Yeah.
people you turn down, fucking Batman or whatever, because whatever. So yeah, look, there's loads of that. Everyone's got them, but
I'd asked if you cried, but we know the answer. You definitely did.
How is life in general though? Because you are, I mean, you're obviously highly A-star, high profile, etc. And yet you've popped in today on the tube, I think. Is that right?
Overground.
Overground.
Very humble, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I love that. I mean, what is your balance of life like?
The older I get, the more of a control freak I think I become, and more OCD I become, and I cannot stand being in the back of a car when I don't have any ability to move things on if we're stuck in traffic. I hate that feeling of ineptitude that like I can't help the situation. And the amount of times I'm in a car on my way somewhere, and I'll just say, you know what, can you just try to get me closer to the tube, and I'll jump in the tube because I like efficiency. I hate being late,
Right.
so I want to get places on time. And sometimes just London traffic's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it really is.
And I just can't handle it. So something like this, which is easier from where I live, it's one train and a
You see, Hask,
17-minute walk. I was
you
like,
can
this is
do,
perfect.
You can do the train house. We can get that into you.
No, I'm
We
absolutely
can
fine.
become
Thank
a
you.
man of the person.
I've heard about the tube. I've heard it. I've seen it on TV. I just
Leave it
not
to
for
others.
me. Little
That's the
aluminium can of
fastest way.
sadness. Yeah.
But are you someone, Jamie, that you want a degree of normality in your life? I presume you do. But
Yeah, and I
and
think
what
a
is
lot
your
of
life
that is.
balance then between holy Moses, this is out of control, it's bright lights, it's
Well, I think a lot of
cameras.
that's like choices and mindset, and you can go like, I can do a peacocky thing and try to stand out and say yes to go to every fucking party that's available, and just make sure you're seen everywhere, or you can just be at home picking the kids up. I've got 3 kids. Like, I'm very lucky that big things happened for me once I'd already met Millie, and sort of quite quickly got pregnant after we got married. So all my necessary being was in this thing we created in this family. So I had no interest in the whole like getting out there and being seen, and so it's of little interest to me. So I'm the lucky. I think there's 2 types of people. If you become recognizable, you're either fucked because you don't have mates who've known you since you were a kid.
have you got a good gang around you who pull you back down
met
the
a
tins
lot of them.
being
Like,
one of
I've
them,
had the same group of mates since I was a kid, and they couldn't care less about what I do. Like, they don't see me in that way at all, and we're all into the same things. We're all mad sports heads, and they, you know, like in a very typical Irish way, all we do is put each other down, and you know, but we love each other deeply, and it's I've always had that support around me. And then you get people who don't, and then all they know is people around them going, yeah, you're brilliant, yeah, you're class at this, oh yes, you should do that, yes, oh, that's a great idea, instead of someone going, what the fuck, catch yourself, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I've always had that, thankfully.
It's funny, isn't it? Because obviously a lot of people will know you for 50 Shades, but that's the bit you hated. Well, you didn't hate it, but that's the one you're more proud of. The things like
Fall.
like the Fall and
Yeah.
things like that, aren't you? Than you are of
Okay,
50 Shades.
I don't, you know,
But
that-
you never know how it's going to go, do you?
Well, something like that, we probably did know a wee bit how it was going to go because the books were so.
Well, yeah.
Did you
their
feel
own
yourself
thing.
signing a bit of a contract taking that?
Yeah, a wee bit, yeah, because there was very much a, very strong reaction to the books in
Yeah.
terms of fandom, obsession, but critically not so great, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. Critically
Um,
but fans absolutely loved it.
Yeah, so then you're making movies to satisfy the hundreds
Bit
of
like your
millions of
books,
fans, but there's hundreds of millions of fans, and you want to make them happy, so you're loyal to the books.
Yeah.
But the critics didn't like the books, you know. So it's a funny place to find yourself in. But I don't have any regrets about it. And,
Do you prefer a box hit smash that you don't really connect to, or something like The Fall, which is a complete cult hit that you love doing?
I don't,
And
it's all
funnily
just
enough,
work. You move on. You honestly
you
just
know,
do
makes
the work.
me
move
wonder
on.
whether my kids should be around you quite a lot of the time.
On The Fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's dark.
I still love
stuff.
that. I still love
Dark
that check.
stuff.
Do you still have the check in the toilet from?
I do. from Disney.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
got
what?
residual. No wonder the actors are striking about residuals. I got I was on some show that was sort of Disney based years and years and years ago, and one of my residual checks was for 1 cent.
Wow.
Yeah, I've
got
got
a
a frame.
check
I got a frame.
from
Never
Disney
cost
for
it.
1 cent.
From Disney. Would
What
have cost
was your role
about
in
14 quid to send it over from LA.
Wow.
It's
So,
framed.
but no, they don't send checks anymore. It's all goes just straight into your account.
Was there one point where, because obviously you talked about being down to earth, having your friends, was there one moment where you just went, oh wow, this life has now changed, that, you know, or where your anonymity had gone? Because there's always that, you know, when you sort of go and people are literally shouting at you across the street, or
I think it's only bad when people know where you're going to be.
oh fine,
So if it's like Leicester Square premiere at 6 o'clock, then it's a nightmare.
Right.
Or anything, or you know, they know you're staying at that hotel when you're in town for that thing, and they're outside there. The rest of the time, you're bouncing around like, you know, it's fine, you know. Yeah, there's been loads of moments in my life where I've been, this is mental,
Yeah.
like this is mental. What is happening to me? And then you're crashed straight. I have 3 kids under 10. You know, there's no feeling top of the world, like in that kind of sense of I'm important. When you're a kid, you've got a role to play of just getting down and dirty and being a dad. And
Okay. 3 quick things, because I'm
Yeah.
conscious of time. You've got a school run to do. So,
Yes.
true or false? You were once known as the Golden Torso. Yes or no?
I got labelled that by someone at American GQ. Yes,
That's a great. I mean,
don't
I could
really
take
know
that
what
with
it
me, like-
means.
yeah, I know, but you do. Well,
but
you kind of do.
it's followed me around. It's followed
Could
me
you
around.
therefore rate out of 10? Could you mark the torsos of the 2 that you've got
I'm
there?
including yours here.
Well,
Yeah,
mine
it's
is.
well
You're
done.
leaving some
mine's-
to be
it's like an
desired
advent,
here.
it's like an advent calendar.
There's another one to join
Oh,
the party.
fucking hell. Well, I tell you what. Now you can rate them.
You trained a
No, you
lot.
can't
A
rate them.
long time ago.
Oh, steady on. Don't fucking come on my show and behave like that.
your show is it?
Yeah. It's
Our
now.
show.
Well,
Maybe.
What's
I'll
this?
just
What's the crack
that
here?
was Men's Health. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Did the Men's Health 6-pack challenge.
Very good. And you
Producer's
didn't,
getting fired in a minute,
succeed.
but for the listeners,
Um,
it was a long time ago.
You auditioned for Queer as Folk. Do you remember that Channel 4?
Yeah.
Channel
But
4
we're
show.
not judging that. We're judging the.
There's a
6-pack.
lot of chest shaving going on
Yeah.
here.
A lot of excess hair.
Haskell's
Jamie.
probably in the best nick, isn't he?
Jamie, for Christ's sake.
No,
Oh,
he is.
Oh,
Can you dance?
No, can I fuck? No.
Have you? Is there anything you've learned for a movie role that's like you stuck with you? You know, like because they train you up to do stuff. Do you ever like learn to do some? Is there anything you've actually
Horseback
beneficial?
riding.
No, I'm so allergic to horses.
Are
It's
you?
really bad. Yeah.
So you can't do horse
No, I've
roles?
done it in loads of films, but I'm heavily medicated.
Is that right?
I'm honestly like this.
Really?
Wow.
Jamie's
really
falling asleep
allergic.
again.
Yeah. But I used to be round a Europe gaff, and
Yeah.
I'd be like really suffering. Just the dog's horse. I'm very allergic
The
to person,
tendrils.
sadly.
Yeah.
Well, so
You
God,
don't- you don't-
God
around
shafted you
them.
on something. So he can
You
just
don't want a
fucking give you
puppy.
everything else.
You don't want a puppy right now.
No,
It's good when you find out he's allergic to oxygen and air.
You're not
Can't go
allergic to
outside,
your
but he looks
doggy.
beautiful.
No, a wee bit. If I hug him too much, I get hives and stuff in my arm.
Tins.
But I love him.
Yeah, I get that as well.
I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
And the school
Oh,
run
yeah,
is
sorry.
fast approaching.